Hello future cruisers, I'm Susan Huffman, your cruise specialist with Oceanwide Travel, and today I'm taking you on a full ship tour of the Enchantment of the Seas. Now I'm starting the tour in the center of the ship, which is known as the Centrum. I found this area had a lot of live music and entertainment, and using an example from my cruise, in the evenings they held several dance parties with themes from the 50s, 60s, and 70s music eras. And that was in addition to some pretty impressive rock band karaoke they had as well. As we move through the Centrum on Deck 5, we're going to find ourselves in Boleros Lounge. They had a lot of fun activities in here all throughout my cruise. They had several trivia games, napkin folding, scrapbooking, live bands, plus a whole lot more. For those of you who are looking to roll the dice while on vacation, or maybe even enter an exciting tournament, you're going to want to head over to the Casino Royale. During my sailing, they held Texas Hold'em tournaments, blackjack tournaments, and slot tournaments while on board. Heading into the Orpheum Theater. Now this is where we enjoyed Broadway-style shows each evening, in addition to some great late-night comedy. Now although the theater seats over 800 people, I'd suggest arriving 20 to 30 minutes early to really secure yourself a great seat. And for those of you staying in a Grand Suite or higher, you'll be participating in the Enhanced Suite program, and you'll have access to a special area of reserved prime seating. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Enhanced Suite program, it is a great option. I've enjoyed it many times, and I highly suggest it to anyone who's looking for an upgraded experience while on board. There's a lot of extra perks that are going to come with it. You're going to get priority check-in and departure. You'll find luxury bathrobes to use within your suite, and here's a little tip. When you're unpacking, hand off your formal wear to your suite room attendant. As part of this program, you're also going to get complimentary pressing of those items, so you will look fantastic and wrinkle-free on formal night. Arriving back in the Centrum again, I wanted to point out that the counter on the right here is guest services. If you're having any issues while on board, this is where you're going to want to go. And the counter on the left is the shore excursions desk. That's a great area to visit if you did not pre-book your excursions or you want to make any changes to your current ones. This is the My Fair Lady dining room. This is the main dining room on board, and it's where you're going to get some of the greatest meals during your cruise. Now I do want to point out that on a typical 3 or 4 night cruise, you will have one formal night, so you may want to pack accordingly for this. For the men, I would suggest a suit and tie, and for the women, a cocktail dress. For those of you who had an incredible day at port and simply want to sit back and order room service, it's a great option. You'll find a room service menu in your stateroom with a limited selection to enjoy. Now for those of you who are participating in the Enhanced Suite program, you're going to find the exact same room service menu in your suite, plus the full My Fair Lady dining room menu as well to order off of. So even if you choose to stay in and relax, you're never going to miss any of the great meals that are served on board. Off the Centrum on Deck 6 is where for an additional fee you can stay connected online. In the area on the left, that's where you can purchase your Ben & Jerry's ice cream and your Starbucks coffees. This is the Shops of Centrum. If you're interested in making some duty-free purchases while on board, this is the area to go to do it. They have plenty of shops and boutiques that you can stroll through, and I noticed they had a large selection of items to choose from. They had everything from simple sundry items, all the way up to high-end jewelry and fine watches as well. Now we're heading back into the Orpheum Theater, but this time on the upper level. And I wanted to simply share with you the great vantage points of the stage that can be had up here, in addition to the main level seating down below. Heading back into the Shops of Centrum, I do want to point out that if you're interested in making any liquor purchases while on board, that they do have great prices. But please keep in mind that you cannot take your liquor purchase back with you to your stateroom. They will hold on to it and deliver it to you at the end of the cruise. Here in the photo gallery is where you can purchase all of those beautiful professional photos you had taken throughout your cruise. Now I wanted to point out to both my current and future clients that just through the door ahead on the right is where you can reserve your next cruise. Doing so will get you the exact same great rate that you would receive from me, plus you're also going to get an onboard credit to use on that future cruise. And keep in mind, this is a great offer that Royal Caribbean only gives out to those who booked on board. When you return back home, please feel free to contact me. I may be able to add yet another additional onboard credit to that new reservation as well. Chops Grill. This is a great option for those who are looking for a real steakhouse experience. They feature premium cuts of quality steaks, fresh seafood, hearty side dishes, and their signature desserts. Now, if you choose to dine here, there is an additional charge of $30 per person, and that does cover all your gratuities as well. I'd highly suggest making reservations in advance due to the limited number of tables available within the restaurant. Just ahead around the corner is where we're going to find the Schooner Bar. Now, this is a Royal Caribbean signature bar, and it's a favorite amongst many guests. It has a wonderful nautical theme and incredible ocean views, and I found it to be a great place to relax during the day, and in the evenings, I loved coming here for the live piano music and entertainment. And this is the Spotlight Lounge. During my cruise, they held a large variety of activities in here. Everything from live music, dancing, karaoke for all ages, royal bingo, the Quest game show, which, if you've never heard of before, is basically a scavenger hunt for adults and a great time to be had. Up ahead on the left-hand side, right before we go back through the Schooner Bar again, there's a doorway that leads into a conference room. If anyone's interested in booking a conference or maybe even holding a special event at sea, please feel free to reach out to me. There's a lot of benefits and perks that come along with doing it on board a cruise. Now we're heading up to the Viking Crown Lounge. This is a glass-enclosed area perched high above the sea and is definitely my favorite spot on board to enjoy a cocktail while watching the sunset. They had a really great event up here during my cruise, and it was called the Silent Party. Now, if you've never been to one before, simply imagine walking into a nightclub where everyone's singing and dancing. However, they're all wearing wireless headphones in order to hear the live DJ music. It's hysterical to watch and a lot of fun to participate in, and should it be offered on board your cruise, I'd suggest stopping in for a great time. Now, I'd like to point out two exclusive areas on board the ship. The first one is the door on the left, and that leads into the Concierge Club. And over there, the door on the right, that one leads into the Diamond Club. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the Diamond Club, it's exclusive to members of Royal Caribbean's Crown and Anchor Society and is available to those who, much like myself, have sailed at least 80 nights or more on board any of Royal Caribbean ships. Now, referring back to the Concierge Club, I want to point out that that's an area for those of you who are enjoying the Enhanced Suite program. Please be sure to visit in the evenings because they have wonderful appetizers and complimentary drinks for you to enjoy. This is the Bungee Trampoline, and if you consider yourself to be a bit of a thrill seeker, you might really enjoy this option. I've been told that participants jump as high as 30 to 35 feet in the air. And to anyone hoping to reenact the romantic, iconic scene from the movie Titanic on the bow of the ship, you're out of luck. It's not accessible to the public, only to the crew. Now, if you're curious which island the ship is approaching, it's Coco Cay. And if this is your first time visiting this island, you're going to have plenty of fun beach and water activities to choose from. You can go parasailing, snorkeling, kayaking, plus a whole lot more. There's plenty to do here. You will need to take a tender to the island because the ship cannot dock there. But for those of you enjoying the Enhanced Suite program, simply show your stateroom card to a crew member and you'll receive priority access to all the tenders. This is a great view into the Solarium pool. The unique feature about this area on the ship is that it has a retractable crystal canopy. So whether or not the weather cooperates, it's always beautiful in there. And for all the dedicated joggers, you'll be enjoying a quarter-mile track with incredible ocean views. Now we're heading towards the aft of the ship, and back here is where we're going to find the rock climbing wall. When you, or maybe even your kids, reach the top, at that point you'll be close to 200 feet above the sea. Now there are rules to participating. You must be 6 years or older, you have to wear socks, a t-shirt, shorts, or pants, and the clothing must be dry. In addition, you must sign a waiver, and for the children that are under the age of 13, they need to have a parent or a guardian to supervise the activity as well. Now we're heading down to the pool area on Deck 9, and this is where you can enjoy many water-based activities throughout the cruise. You're going to find 2 saltwater pools, 4 whirlpools, plus a kids splash pool as well. You'll also come across a towel stand with plenty of pool towels for you to use all throughout your sailing. And these are towels that can also be taken off the ship and used during your shore excursions and beach activities while in port. But please keep in mind, you do need to return them back to the towel stand before the end of your cruise, or you may encounter a small fee on your stateroom account. Now I would like to point out that there are no lifeguards on duty, so if you'll be sailing with small children, I'd suggest keeping a close eye on them whenever near the pool deck. Through these doors is the Windjammer Café, and for those who are looking for a great buffet-style dining option, this is where you're going to find it. It's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and offers great food, wonderful views, and an attentive waitstaff as well. You'll find a large selection of items to choose from, along with coffee, teas, and flavored drinks. During our cruise, it was open for breakfast from 6:30 until 10:30. Lunch was noon until 2, tea time and afternoon snacks were served from 3 to 5, and dinner was available between 6 and 9 p.m. For all those on board who will be sailing with children under the age of 17, this area on Deck 10 is specifically tailored with programs just for them. For those as young as 6 to 36 months, they can enjoy the Royal Babies and Tots program, but please keep in mind that there is an hourly fee if you choose to use it. If your child is between the age of 3 and 11 years old, they'll be part of the Adventure Ocean Youth program, and this is complimentary, but only until 10 p.m. After that, an hourly fee will be applied. Now, your child will be placed into one of 3 different age groups within that program so that they can enjoy special activities in rooms that are designed just for them. And here's how it's broken down. Ages 3 to 5 will participate in the Aquanauts program. 6 to 8-year-olds will enjoy the Explorers program, and those 9 to 11, they're going to have a great time in the Voyagers program. Now for all the young adults on board between the ages of 12 and 17, they'll be part of the Teens program, which is completely complimentary, and they'll have the freedom to come and go as they please. And it's quite simple to keep informed as to all the great activities that are happening in your child's age group. Each evening you should be receiving an itinerary in your stateroom that lists the following day's activities, so please be sure your stateroom attendant is dropping this off for you each evening. For those who are interested in treating themselves a little extra special while on board, I'd suggest heading over to the Enchantment Day Spa. You can schedule an appointment for an incredible massage, a facial, hair treatments, manicures, pedicures, plus a whole lot more. I would suggest making an appointment at your earliest convenience if this is something that interests you, because they do fill up quite quickly. Located just outside the spa is where you'll find the Solarium pool with its beautiful crystal canopy. This is an adults-only pool and is intended for use by those who are 16 and older. Also located next to the Solarium pool is the Park Café, and that's a wonderful option for those simply looking to enjoy a light snack during their cruise. Now I hope you've enjoyed my tour on the Enchantment of the Seas. If you're interested in booking a cruise on Royal Caribbean or any of the other cruise lines, please feel free to contact me. Cruise vacations are my specialty, and I'd love to give you some really great options to consider for your next adventure. Thank you for watching.